If you got your Bibles, book of Colossians this morning. And the title of the message is The Myth of Equality. We hear a whole lot about it today, and I've just been thinking about it. It's everywhere, right? People need to be equal. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Even our Declaration of Independence, all of our papers, that all men are created equal, depends on your definition. Really does. Depends on your definition. I want you to read with me in the book of Colossians. Chapter number 3, verse 22. Servants. Wait a minute. How can we have true equality if we still have servants? That's the first verse or the first word in what we just read, right? Servants, obey in all things your, what's the next word? Masters, according to the flesh. Obey them according to the flesh. We say, I thought the Bible was spiritual. Yeah, but it tells us how to live on this planet. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. And whatsoever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord, and not unto men, knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ. Now, let's unbundle that. First we got servants, then we got masters, then we got you do the right thing by your masters, you servants. Later on you find out where he says you masters do the right thing by your servants, and the servants do the right thing by the masters. But wait a minute, we live in America. There's equality. Equality doesn't exist. Because for us to be equal, listen closely, for us to be equal, we can't be individuals. If you're going to be truly equal, that means we get a cookie cutter, make everybody the same size, the same weight, the same height, the same hair color. Listen to this. Equality doesn't exist because I will never play basketball in the NBA. Y'all agree with that? I mean, look at me. There's nothing about me that makes me have any ability to play in the NBA. I'm short. I'm fat. I'm old. And I'll say it, I am white. Put me out there to go. Do you think any coach or any organization in the NBA is going to call me and say, we're writing you a check for $4 million to come up here and play center? Ain't going to happen. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The whole idea of it. You laughed. See, I could take offense to that because I'm just as good as anybody else. Equality is a myth. I've talked about this before. Sometime back, the feminist movement started, right? Men and women are just alike. I got news for you. Men and women ain't just alike. Anybody that's ever hung out, you don't have to get married. You don't have to no. If you hang out with the opposite sex for one evening, you find out that men and women are not the same. Men and women aren't the same. I will go this far. Men are simple. Heard somebody say one time, men are at their absolute lowest form. Again, ladies, if you ever asked your man, husband, boyfriend, whatever, what are you thinking about? And he says nothing, believe him. Biggest difference between men and women. A man can sit and think of absolutely nothing. I've never met a woman that could sit and think of absolutely nothing. Men and women aren't equal because to be equal the way you're thinking means we have to be the same. Men and women are wired different. We know that this was the case in the Garden of Eden. God made man, God made woman, and He didn't make them the same. How do you know? Because He sent the serpent to tempt, not the man, but the woman. Does that mean women are less? No, that just means there was something He could tempt the woman with that He couldn't tempt the man with. Men can be tempted, don't get me wrong. Men can be tempted by lots of things that women would never be tempted over. But in the garden, there was a difference between Adam and Eve. They weren't equal. Genders or races or sexes or whatever else you want to drag up, people aren't the same. We need to understand every person has differences, and we need to embrace that fact. We have to. We have to acknowledge that none of us are the same. Otherwise, we can't speak, we can't communicate, and we surely can't get along. It's what's wrong with our country right now. We can't even acknowledge that somebody sees things differently than I do. Man, aren't you wonderful? Don't you have all the answers? Everybody should think like me. What kind of a world would we have if everybody thought like you? Equality doesn't exist. Every one of us are unique. Every one of us are different. Every one of us have different things about us that are not the same as everybody else. So how could we become, or how can we think we're equal? Equal means same. You have talents that I'll never have. You have abilities that I will never possess. You can do things that I'll never learn to do because you're made differently. Equality is a myth. We have to get that in our heads. Because here's what equality brings. If we start talking about being equal, we're all Christians and we're equal. If we are, then there's a whole lot of people that are going to be unreached and untouched with the gospel. Lots. Because every one of us are unique, and we can reach somebody with the abilities and the talents that we've been given. Some people can sing. I can't sing. I mean, I can carry a tune, but my voice ain't good. I don't have that ability. I can hit some chords on a piano. Vival can play a piano. Diana can play a piano. I can't play a piano. I don't have that ability or that talent. They can reach people with what ability and talent God has given them that I will never possess. I don't think when we get to heaven, anybody is going to ever say, you know, that Rick Lemons, he led me to the Lord with a song he sung. Now, they may go to the Lord and say, why didn't you just take his voice away completely when he was a kid? I can see that happening in heaven, but I don't have that talent. I don't have that ability because God never gave it to me. Does that mean that I'm less? Absolutely not. We have to understand we don't have to be equal to thrive and to do the job that God has given us. You hear so much today. I started out rough. I started out in a bad situation. My daddy didn't like me. My mama was mean. That hinders me. The only thing that hinders you from living up to the life that God intends you to live up to is you. It's the only thing holding you back. It amazes me how many people have an excuse that I don't want to say anything out of the way here. People can't feed themselves. They can't find a job. I can't find a job because everybody's out to get me. Everybody ever watch Judge Judy? Do you love Judge Judy? Everybody loves Judge Judy, right? And people that get on there and some guy, she said, why didn't you pay your child support? Well, I had a lot of bills. She said, not my problem. She said, get out and pick up cans if you have to, but if you got responsibilities, you got to live up to your responsibilities. The only person holding you back is you. I'm not taking the job flipping hamburgers. Then don't ask me to take my tax money and pay you. It's the way I see it. We're not equal, but we all have the abilities that God gave us. Is that right? God gave you the ability to stand on your 2 feet and do everything that He leads you to do. God has never called somebody to service without giving them the ability to accomplish the task that they were given. Everybody remember Moses, right? Led the children out of the land of Egypt. I don't know what his speech impediment was, whether, he had I don't know. But he said, Lord, you can't send me. I don't talk plain. That was his argument with God about going down and doing the work. There's a whole lot of people who talk better than me. God said, yeah, but I ain't calling all them. I'm asking you to go. Well, there's so many things in my life that hold me back. There's nothing in your life holding you back because you have God's Spirit and the power of God on your side. Equal has nothing to do with it. Well, my race holds me back. Bless your heart. There are wonderful, wonderful, accomplished people throughout the history of this. Slavery is a terrible thing. And this country has to live with that blight, and we've got some guilt over it. Everybody agree with that? Now, we have races all included. Anybody in here sitting in the seat ever owned slaves? Anybody sitting here ever been slaves? Then you have the ability to accomplish anything that God leads you to do. It ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. God made me who I am. I can speak to people at times that you can't speak to. And you can speak to people that I can't speak to. You can reach somebody I can't reach. That's why we're different. That's why it would be terrible to be equal. You need to be around people that think different. Why? So they can twist me. If somebody can twist your thinking, then you're not established as much as you think they are, or you are. I'm so thankful everybody isn't like me. I thank God every day that other people don't have my same shortcomings. What kind of world will we live in? No one is less because they're different. Our uniqueness can't make us less. And when you look at somebody that thinks differently than you, you need to remember it doesn't make them less of a human being, less deserving of your respect and your love. Only actions can do that. Our uniqueness can't make us less any more than the way we were born can make us less. Some people see the world different than I do. If you want to live up to God's expectation, quit thinking about being the same and start thinking about being what God made you to be. Salvation is a matter of me and Jesus, and you ain't got no say-so in it. My salvation is between me and Jesus. He died and I accepted it. That's between me and Him. We need to live up to what God intended us to be as individuals. Well, the church says Do you not hate it when somebody says that? Well, the church says nobody here, there's not a deacon in this church or a trustee or anybody that holds office in this church that ever died for you. So quit talking about what the church says and start talking about what Jesus said. Because we are all individuals. Equality is not what we're looking for. Equality is not something we can meet or get because we're different. And our relationship with God is unique. God knows what you need. I don't want to be equal with you. I want to be God's child. I want to be a follower of Jesus Christ. I don't want to be the same. It seems to me like today everybody knows what they are to be entitled to. Not just these crazy kids. I'm talking about grown-up people. It's a shame, a 45-year-old person saying, it's a shame I can't feed my family on minimum wage. Sometimes I bite my tongue. Ugh. Minimum wage was for kids in high school, not to be taken advantage of, not for a 45-year-old man trying to feed a whole family. Minimum wage is what they give us at 15 or 16 to flip hamburgers at the McDonald's. But now we're entitled to something. Hey, how about doing this? Being the best employee you can have, that they can have. How about learning to show that master or that boss that you're the best servant he's got so that you work your way up? See, doesn't that make sense? I want to be equal. They should just give me. No, you earn it. That's what God gave you the ability to do, is earn your keep. He told Adam and Eve when they left the garden, told Adam, from the sweat of your brow, you'll make your living. You got to earn your living. Ain't nobody giving it to you. But now we want to be equal. We're all working here. We should all make the same. Oh yeah, that guy that's asleep half the time ought to make the same as a guy that works his rear end off doing everything he's asked to do. We're not equal. We are not equal. Every one of us have worked with people like what I just described. We're not equal. You need to be everything that God intended for you to be and quit worrying about what everybody else is. Let's all stand.